same symbol right here. I wonder what it is. Watch my 666 mark of the beast if you haven't already seen it, because it's alluding to religion itself. But I'm showing you this so you can actually see truth right before your eyes. You can see that it's being peeled off, so we know it's authentic. We know it is true. But what will you believe? Now I'm going to speed it up a little bit, but this is showing you another Russian icon of what appeared to be how the disciples and everyone looked back then. And once again, what color are they? And as you can see, these are real authentic pictures that the Russians depicted back then. But if we keep going, we also see ones that depict the messengers, and the set apart messengers, or who you call the angels in this one right here. We also see figures right here as well. And what are they depicted as? What color are they really? And you can even see the zoom in close up of them if we continue to scroll down, and we can continue to go and you will see them even up closer. How do they look? That is up to you, but let's keep going. If we keep going here, we see another depiction of what looks to be not only disciples but also the Messiah himself. Who is that? Who does that remind you of? But let's keep going. If we scroll all the way down, we see what appears to be one of the disciples. But if we keep going, who does this remind you of? Who does this look very reminiscent of? I'll let you figure that out on your own, but let's keep going. And we see the same thing we saw earlier with the treading of the horse. Very interesting. And we also see the woman that is being depicted here as well. Oh, but that's not all. He who have an ear, let him hear. Who is this really depicting? It should be a no-brainer. But guess what? What color is he? It should be a no-brainer. It's right in front of your face. This is how the Messiah actually looked. Although his hair was not like this, his hair was woolly and it was white. But his skin color, that's exactly how his skin color looked. And like I said, this isn't about race. This isn't about color. I'm not trying to make this into a color thing. I'm trying to show you the truth and what's been hidden from you all along, because all of this stuff has been hidden from you, and it took me hours of research to give you all real authentic truth. But see, the problem is some of you are still going to try to make this into a race card and still try to say that, oh no, the original biblical Israelites were white, even though I'm showing you real authentic proof that that is not the case. But what will you believe? Will you still believe the reprobate mind of the lie, or will you wake up now and see the truth that is right in front of you, that has been in front of us all along, with scripture to even prove it? You can even look at how the Messiah looks in Revelation chapter 1 verses 13 through 15. Oh, but everyone loves skipping over that, don't they? And this was before the cleaning, so this is actually how it really authentically looks. And I hope you are seeing that with both your eyes open, and you're going to stop believing the lies out there, because I'm bringing you real authentic truth from the heart. What is this icon depicting? It is depicting the return of the Messiah. And what color is he? And you can see the set apart messenger, or what you may call the angels here. And no, angels don't have wings, but you can also see others right there as well. You can see the depiction here. Now, yes, I'm aware that this is, of course, abominable. As long as if you're worshiping it, it's abominable. But I'm showing you this for educational purposes. Let's get that through our heads right now, so that you can stop believing the lies that are out there and see with your own two eyes the truth about the Messiah and even the prophets, which I'm going to show you even more later on. And here we have a depiction of more of the set apart messengers, or who you may call the angels. And here we have the Messiah as well as the mother right there, so we can see what color they really are. And we also have another one that seems to depict one of the disciples, as well as what appears to be the Messiah himself and all the others around him. And the question is, what color are they? I hope you're seeing this with both eyes open. Oh, but if you thought it stopped here, oh no, there's more. There is always more. Oh, how history does not lie. Oh, how history is telling you the actual authentic truth, but everything is being hidden from you. And what is this picture really showing you? It is showing you the Messiah with the crown and the disciples. Now, yes, I am aware of the sun worship symbolism that is in this, but like I said, I'm showing you this for educational purposes, so that you can see who the real biblical Israelites were and how they were portrayed as, because remember, man only lies, yet let Yahuwah be the truth and let man be a lie. And remember, history does not lie. Oh, but I know one group of people who do lie and who have been lying for centuries and centuries, but I'll let you answer that on your own. Like I said, I've done a ton of digging and a ton of research to find out all of this stuff for you. Now, this is a Russian icon that depicts none other than Moses, or Musha himself, and this is from the 16th century AD from the Northern School. And as you can see, this is how Moses is accurately depicted and shows a scroll as well. Oh, but this is not the only depiction of Moses or Musha. We see even more as well. Now, this is another Russian icon that depicts Moses or Musha, and as you can see, it depicts Moses and the burning bush. And what you'll see is that this version and depiction of Moses looks very similar to the other icon of Moses that I've just shown you. And if you don't believe me, you can pause the video and look at both of them. And he's also holding a scroll. Now, this comes from the 18th century AD from the Kizhi monastery. It is in public domain, and it is even sponsored by Wikipedia. And you'll even see that Wikipedia shows you truth as well. But I hope you're seeing it with both eyes open. Now, this is a Russian icon that depicts both Ezekiel and Daniel. And as you can see, here's Ezekiel right here, and you can see his scroll that is right there. And this is Daniel over here, and this is the scroll that he is depicted as. And as you can see, how do these prophets look? These are how the original biblical prophets actually looked. And I'm even going to share scripture with you that even proves that they were black back then. And you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, the truth is coming to light now. Now, this is an ancient icon, and it's a Russian icon, and it depicts the prophets King Solomon and Ezekiel. And as you can see, King Solomon here is depicted wearing a crown, and Ezekiel, or Yakaskal, is here depicted like this. And what you start to see is that Ezekiel looks very similar to the Ezekiel that we saw in the other Russian icon that I've just shown you. Don't believe me? Pause the video so you can actually see it, and you can see the scroll that they're holding right here. Now, this was an icon that was founded back in Russia, Moscow to be exact, and it was founded in the 16th century AD, linked with the name Andrei Rubulyov, and it is also available in the purchasing commission of the experts of the State Hermitage Museum 1960. That is where you can find this painting right here. And I'm going to zoom it and enlarge it so you can see a better picture of it right now. Like I said, here is the enlarged picture, and you can find this, like I said, in the purchasing commission of the experts of the State Hermitage Museum back in 1960, and it comes from Russia back in the 16th century AD. And as you can see, this is King Solomon right here. If we scroll down, this is the scroll that he has right here. This is a real authentic painting, and if we go over here, you can see enlarged that this is right here, none other than Ezekiel. But the question I have for you is, why don't they look white, and why don't they appear white like all the paintings that we see today that they just love to show us and depict to us in Hollywood movies? Why don't they look anything like this? That's the question. Somebody is lying to you. Somebody is lying and has perpetrated this lie for many, many, many centuries. Somebody is the synagogues of Satan, and we're going to see exactly who they are. It seems as though there's been a huge identity theft, because here's another Russian icon depicting King Solomon. And how does he look? He looks very black and dark skinned to me. You can also read about that in Song of Solomon chapter 1 verses 5 through 6, which we'll go to later on, so you'll see that I'm not making this stuff up. Not only that, but it looks very similar to the other icon we just saw earlier of King Solomon. Don't believe me? Pause the video so you can actually see it for yourself and stop believing the lies of mainstream media and see the truth for what it really is. Because I'm telling you, when the Black Messiah returns and he still sees that you're worshiping a white image, oh, he's going to be very furious with you unless you wake up to this truth right now. Now, this is the Russian icon of what appears to be Daniel. Now, some may say that this is actually Moses, but it looks very reminiscent of Daniel. And as you can see, here's the scroll right here. This is a Russian icon. What color does it look like to you? I'll let you answer that on your own. Now, this for surety is Nahum, and I'm going to prove that it is Nahum later on. But as you can see, this is a Russian icon that features Nahum, and you can see the scroll that he's holding right here, as well as how he really actually looks. And you're going to see another picture of Nahum with another prophet, and you're going to see that he looks very similar to this. So it looks like their depictions aren't off. Like I said, who's really lying to you? Remember, who's really lying to you? That is the question, because this is a Russian icon that was found around circa 1497, and it depicts and shows you Malachi right here, as you can see with the scroll that he's holding, and it shows you who? None other than Nahum himself. And as I said, it matches the picture very, very reminiscent of the one we just looked at of Nahum. But this comes from Saint Cyril of Byelozersk, the monastery in Russia. And so this actually comes from a monastery. And like I said, this was completed circa 1497. What happened? Why did they stop depicting the prophets like this? I wonder why. Here is another ancient picture that depicts Aharun, or Aaron, the priest, as you can see right here, and he's holding up a scroll. And this is a very, very, very ancient Russian icon that you can actually find on Wikipedia's public domain and the Wikimedia Commons. If you really do your research and dig deep enough, you will find this stuff. What does the scripture say? Seek and you shall find. Oh, but we're not done. We are just getting started. This is a picture depicting and showing you who, Musha or Moses, and what color is he? And wow, look at his hair. Hair like wool, woolly hair. Wow. Just like scripture says in Revelation chapter 1 verses 13 through 15, that describes the Messiah, and even what describes our Father Yahuwah in Daniel chapter 7 verses 9. Wow. Very clear and distinct indeed. Who's lying to you? I'll let you figure that out on your own. Here's another ancient depiction of Moses the Ethiopian, and it says our venerable father. So as you can see, here's Moses again, and he very looks reminiscent of the one we just saw. You can pause it and look back, and as you can see, how does he look? Why has this been hidden from you? Now, this is a hand-painted icon that is showing you Daniel the prophet, and I wonder how he looks. And it's showing you also another Russian iconic scroll, and the iconographer is Gina Lamar, and it's showing you Daniel as a young lad, that mysterious image seen by Nebuchadnezzar in a dream, an image that was composed of different metals, but was shattered and ground to dust by a certain stone which had been hewn out of a mountain without the hand of man. So this is an accurate depiction of Daniel. But like I said, there's way more. We are just getting started. Now this is showing you and depicting you a Russian icon of the prophet Habakkuk, and its period comes from around circa 1600 AD with dimensions of 72.5 by 49.5 centimeters. And as you can see, he's holding a scroll right here. This is how Habakkuk looked. This is an accurate depiction of how he looked.